From passable to overdecent, let us see how this third installment, 5 years after the previous one, compares to its two unconnected predecessors from the 20th century. Zombie Bloodbath 3, Undead Armageddon. I know everywhere else the title is Zombie Bloodbath 3, Zombie Armageddon. But when this movie started, it said Zombie Bloodbath 3, Undead Armageddon. So I'll go with that. The plot. Deep under a high school, a spacecraft lays dormant. Meanwhile, a group in detention, a self-defense class, and a horny teacher are going about their miserable lives. They are soon to discover, though, that they are in some deep trouble as misery takes a backseat in the fight for the survival against the undead. It's definitely got an interesting story with some cool plot twists. However, a lot takes a backseat behind the plot. There's significantly less gore than the previous two, and the characters are nasty and unlikable. Like, seriously, how come every other sentence in this movie pretty much includes the word fuck? The worst thing about it is I can tell they tried. The actors and actresses look like they are having a great time, and that's proven true in the behind-the-scenes and end-credit bloopers. Saying I hated all the characters simply isn't true. Even the most despicable of people have their redeeming moments. There's a metalhead bully sporting an awesome Dawkins shirt who is incredibly douchey, but he does try to sacrifice himself for another. Does he die or not? I'll let you find out. Another way you can tell they tried can be seen in the sets and location. They shot in an active paintball arena in the basement scenes, and they worked around the people playing. The paintball arena interiors definitely give this film its own unique design. The underground bunker and spaceship interior wouldn't have worked quite as well if it was shot from an actual basement in the school. It is definitely clever how they find the spaceship. They go to the basement and find a huge sheet of grating that is blowing the air in the wrong direction. It leads to a ladder that brings the characters to their fate. One of the characters has a twist that he doesn't even know of. Well, technically he does, but it's more interesting when you see it. Speaking of the characters, sorry to say this, but their acting can get on your nerves rather easily. They are not the worst characters ever, but they could have been better in my opinion. But having an annoying bunch of people can't hurt the film entirely, and there is some decent stuff here, such as the gore, the effects, guts and intestines are eaten out, a squirty eye gouging, a throat is ripped, there's an unexpected and weirdly grotesque birthing scene, and some more. I do wish it was as bloody as the previous two, but it isn't necessarily dry either. The practical effects are fun, but the CGI is god-awful. I can see it working to some extent, but it was noticeably shoddy. Poor CGI. The motion picture soundtrack. The metal music that always seems to play during zombie attack scenes works every time. It gives the film balls and rocks and rolls with them all the way. There's also some punk and rap. They were both unfortunately kind of annoying. Still, the music was enjoyable in a so bad it's pleasing kind of way. Unfortunately, this is definitely the weakest out of the trilogy. It is not all bad, and it definitely has some redeeming qualities. However, the unbearably mean characters, lack of gore compared to the first two films, and spotty music just makes for a movie that is not quite decent, but still better than it could have been. This is Zombie Bloodbath for the 21st century. Of course, they tried new things. It was a new decade into a new century. It is entertaining, I will say. I just wish everything else was above par. As it stands, Zombie Bloodbath 2 is my favorite. Overall, I give Zombie Bloodbath 3 Undead Armageddon, a 2 out of 5. This was the 5th Todd Sheets movie I watched, and it did kind of disappoint, but it was still funny and watchable. I am Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Entertainment. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below, leave comments, and subscribe.